And the European food industry is sounding the alarm over the ban Russia's placed on most imports, fearing billions of euros in potential losses. Now, Moscow moved to counter Western nations, which had resorted to sanctions over the events in Ukraine. More now with Peter Oliver.
No market for those that backed sanctions. Russia's ban on the import of certain foodstuffs from the US, Canada, Australia, Norway and the EU is in response to the economic sanctions imposed on Moscow. The ban will block meat, fruit, vegetables, some dairy and fish imports for 1 year. Those watching international trade say this shows that Russia is a different animal to other nations sanctioned recently.
What's striking is that when the sanctions were ramped up against Iran, there was very little Iran could do. The West didn't really need much from Iran. That's not the case with Russia, and I think Russia has made very clear that it will retaliate in a proportionate manner.
With European agriculture set to bear the brunt of the import ban, EU leaders that backed sanctions against Russia look likely to face farmers and exporters demanding compensation for their losses.
It's going
to affect us all. For us, it will take 2 or 3 months to collect our remaining crops of oranges. And we don't know what will happen if no one buys them. If there isn't a sufficient market, prices will go down, and we don't know if we can cover the costs of production because it is so expensive.
European food exports to Russia were worth over 12 billion euros last year. Lithuania and Finland were the first to contact Brussels about compensation. Some estimates suggest the ban could cost the Finnish economy 400 million euro, mostly from dairy exports. Elsewhere, the German trade union that deals with wholesale foreign trade said the ban posed a risk to the economy in his country. In Greece, the opposition party Syriza accused the current government's actions of being detrimental to farming. And in Ireland, the Minister for Agriculture said there was real worry, particularly regarding cheese exports, which were valued at 4.5 million euro in 2013. European analysts are warning that sanctions aren't the way to find a solution.
Free trade is a key for peace. We shouldn't be in this game of tit-for-tat thing with sanctions. We should be negotiating on the same table.
But as it stands, Russian consumers are going to have to go without certain imports, and Western exporters are going to be locked out of the Russian market. Peter Oliver, RT, Berlin.
And now, the largest opposition party in Greece, Syriza, is urging the government to drop sanctions against Russia, even if the move is not supported by other EU nations. Kostas Isios, a member of the party's political secretariat, he told us earlier that Athens cannot afford to lose such a key trading partner.
Greece is going through a 5th year of constant recession. The memoranda policies which have been followed with austerity programs in the last 5 years have created great problems for Greek economy and especially for Greek exports. Russia has been a strategic partner for Greece in many farming and food export products. Brussels cannot fill in the gap, the economic gap and the economic decrease of exports for Greece or other countries. Greece has had a long history of traditional good ties with Russia, and we should continue on that road.
Well, we love it when you get involved with our stories here on RT. If you go to our website, you can tell us who you think will be hit hardest by the sanctions over the crisis in Ukraine. Let's bring up the numbers. Here are the options to choose from, for example. Right now, though, the majority believing the EU and the US could suffer the biggest losses. Only now a little less feel that both Russia and Western nations will be affected equally. And the rest of you say it's either Russia or no one, as the world will adjust quickly. Do cast your vote. It's RT.com.